Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming on today. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I know more people will be popping on. I am so honored to be introducing this couple. And I have to tell you, you're going to hear about a company called Lifevantage today. Hopefully, you've already seen an ABC investigative report. And if you have not, make sure that the person that invited you gets that to you after you've seen this video. My name is Tanya Sheldon, and I was introduced to this in 2011. And the speakers you're going to hear today, I heard recently someone tell me, everything you want is on the other side of a relationship, on the other side of a person. And at our last academy for our company, I had a moment of, I was either going to go sit with my team or sit up front in the elite section. That's the section we have up front by the stage. And I chose to sit up there just by myself. I just really wanted to take things in. And I thank God that he put Lori Welch behind me, because I'd wanted to meet her. I'd heard about her. And then I saw the kind of woman she was through a connection we have with Tess, our dear friend Tess, who's also in the business. And there she was. And I thought, do I say hi? Do I say something? And I scooted my chair back, said hello to her. And I feel so connected to you, and I just adore you, and I appreciate both of you for the life you lead by example. You know, it's not, I don't hear what you say, I hear what you do, and you guys truly do that. So we'll get this started. Mark and Lori Welch are bivocational pastors of the Point Church in Sacramento, California. Congratulations on that, you guys. They have been married for 34 years and have 3 adult children, 2 daughters-in-law, and 2 grandchildren. Mark was a professional singer in his first career. They are known as pastorpreneurs. Both of the Welches also have a broad background in real estate, corporate sales, and mortgage. They are known for their gentle coaching style and desire to serve God and add value to other people's lives. And yes, they do. So without further ado, we cannot wait to hear from you guys. Thank you for being here.
Oh, wow. This is so, what an introduction, and what a privilege it is, Tanya, to be on with you and everyone that's on the call. Probably one of the greatest parts of our life is just when we talk about adding value, is just seeing the lights come on for other people. And helping them get what they need is what it's all about for us. So we're just so pleased. Thank you.
I have to say, I'm having team envy right now. To have all of you guys in one team, I'm just like so jealous because you guys have such a cool thing going on. Just getting to meet you, Tanya, has been such a blessing. And to know that the precious family that you guys are all a part of is just such a special thing to be included. So thank you for the invite.
Oh, man. So we're just going to take a few minutes and kind of unpack, because our journey has not been a smooth one. You guys, in our life, we've had lots of ups and downs, and coming into Lifevantage coming into it was a part of being at one of the most down times in our life financially, and just trying to figure some things out. As mentioned, Lori and I have been married for 34 years, and that entire time we've been in pastoral ministry. Our first several years we were on staff at large churches back on the East Coast and in East Coast Canada. Some great memories. We were having our children, and we were pretty set up, weren't we, back in those days? We had
the red carpet treatment,
a decent salary, and in larger churches, and I was the minister of music and worship, and we had great years. But in 1994, we felt a call to go into pioneering brand new churches, and you kind of parachute into a city, you find a place to live, you raise funds if you can, and you start churches from scratch. And we've done that now, Tanya and everyone, 4 times in 23 years. So we started that in 1994, and I can tell you, it is a great thing to do if you're called to it. I mean, it's the only thing you can do if you're called to it. Starting new churches has been our passion, but it is a lousy way to make a living. And we really, out of necessity and kind of out of even the way we're made, began realizing we needed to make our own path. so to speak, a way to make money. So we were always investigating ways to make money. And when we moved to California 20 years ago this summer, we went into the real estate industry to do that. We felt like we could manage our timing, our schedules rather. That's what we did. And so Lori went into sales with Fortune 500 title companies. I became a mortgage lender, and we excelled at all of it. We began to make great incomes, way more than just sustaining us. We began to have money to leverage into buying properties. We thought, well, we don't make much in ministry. We won't have a retirement from that. So we're going into our 50s. Let's start leveraging properties. And we began doing that. Lori will take over and kind of share how that ended up.
Well, it was a fun run. You know, like Mark said, I was kind of bouncing between sales with title companies and doing real estate. I had this one boss that kept pulling me back into the title side. And honestly, I loved both of it, and it was really kind of hard to choose. But we were really, like Mark said, leveraging our knowledge and also and the money that we were making into real estate, because that's what we knew. Had no idea that the crisis was coming. And even though we thought we were building smart, we weren't. And when the crisis hit in 2007, things just started unraveling so fast. We had built our dream home on a beautiful lake. It was a 6,000 square foot home. Imagine this, you guys. It was sunrises on one side of the home, sunsets on the other side of the home, with a 260-degree view of water at the base of the property, rolling hills. The sun would rise and set over those hills. We would race home at night to be able to not miss God's art show. I mean, we absolutely loved that home. And we were using it for ministry. We were bringing missionaries and pastors in from all over the place, putting them up. It was just everything that we had worked hard for. And then the plan was that we would sell that home and retire on the finances from that home.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, the old Yiddish saying is God plans, or we plan, God laughs. And even though I don't think that God was laughing at this catastrophe, he did have a plan, and we had to trust him in that. But it was a very, very dark time for us. And things unraveled pretty quickly. We were just praying and reading and trusting God. I mean, literally, our incomes, our home, and our knowledge just went out the window.
And our rental properties, too.
Everything.
We had other holdings, too.
So about $4 million in real estate holdings just slipped through our fingers like raw eggs. You know, I mean, it was just crazy. So we just asked God for what's next? What do we do? And it was really cool how God just brought Lifevantage to us at just the right moment in time.
Lori, I think you should stop and share at the lowest point how John Maxwell, who's now our trainer.
That's a great
Why don't you tell that story just briefly as well?
So we're feeling a little washed up in ministry.
By the way, this is about 10 years ago, by the way. It's all kind of started unwinding on us in 2007 and 2008 with the mortgage meltdown and then the real estate crisis and the economic crash back then.
Right. Well, back in the days that Mark was a minister of worship at these large churches, oftentimes Mark would go to a convention and lead the music, and John Maxwell would be the speaker. So we developed a friendship with him down through the years. And when we were, our pastor from Canada asked Mark to come up to do the music in the middle of our crisis. We didn't even think that we could open our eyes to anybody. We were just feeling so bad at the time, and we were thinking, how are we going to go and do the music when John Maxwell's speaking at this grand opening for their big church? But we did it. You know, we pulled our bootstraps up and we got rolling. We got there. And at this point in time, John had become so big, we didn't think he'd even remember us. And this is a large staff. We had lunch together, all as a staff. We said hi to him. He said hi to us, and out the door we went type thing, you know. Well, after we left, John Maxwell turned to our pastor and he said, what are Mark and Lori up to now? What are they doing? And pastor, who we had flown in to stay with us for about a week or two, said, actually, it's pretty catastrophic what's going on with them. And he shared our story with him. And John was very moved by the story. I don't even know what pastor said. But get this, you guys. We're sitting waiting for the next service. There was multiple services, thousands of people in each service. We're sitting on the front row waiting for the service to begin. Pastor and John come walking out the door onto the stage, and John walks down the platform and right up to us on the front row. And we're sitting there, we're kind of like, okay, what's this all about? And we're sitting down. He gets right in front of us. He puts his hand on my shoulder and Mark's shoulder, pulls us both in nose to nose, and he goes, let me tell you something. You are eagles, and you're going to fly. And you guys, at that moment, both Mark and I were like, how do we get a grip? How do we get a grip? We got to pull ourselves together.
And I was a one snotty, weepy mess.
But that was the lowest point we were at, but it was the beginning of moving up just because of that affirmation and that love that came from John, from someone that we didn't think really even remembered us. It was just so powerful. So,
and I'd like to say that, you know, it just as a side note, you never know how your words are going to impact someone.
That's true.
And Lori and I have learned that using merciful words when people are down and out or hurting, people are needing hope. And that was just a great lesson in how a godly, big-time global leader came to us and offered us just words of hope and affirmation. Yeah. It just made such a difference. From that point on, though, I would say we began opening ourselves up. We were still doing real estate and mortgage and trying to make it, but we were making fractional money. We'd had to close our church that we had been doing at the time because most of our friends that helped us start it were in the real estate industry. Their incomes had also gone in the tank. And coming out of that, so we got an opportunity to start a new church the next year, 2009, but we were still really at a loss for how to make it, how to get back to even zero with our finances. How can we've lost our properties, we've lost our life savings. We're in our 50s, mid 50s now. How do we do this? And I got to tell you, the solution that came for us to fly in as Eagles was Lifevantage. One day in February of 2011, a friend of ours, Dave Marquis, contacted us and said, I know about something. I know something big that's going to go on. It's my solution. I desperately need one. I don't know if it'll be for you guys or not, but I want to share it with you. And he showed us an ABC Primetime Investigative Report. If you've not seen that report and you're on this webinar, we highly encourage you to get back to the person that invited you. They'll show it to you. They'll help you understand. But he said this is a big deal. And it's been monetized for me and for us, and I think it could be your solution. We took a serious look at it, and Lori especially could see right away that this was a replacement technology, that what we were looking at was replacing something people already were buying, and that's a big thing. We didn't even know how big, but that it looked huge. And she said, I think this looks like the biggest thing we've ever seen. And with that expectation of, hey, we're going to fly again, what vehicle are we going to be in to fly? Because we don't have wings of our own.
Well, do you remember the verse I read in the Bible?
I do.
It was so perfect for what we needed. It was in Ecclesiastes, and King Solomon, the wisest man in the world, wrote this passage, and it said, stay busy, plant a variety of crops. You never know which one's going to produce. Perhaps they all will. And that's where we had made a big mistake. We had put all of our eggs in one basket in real estate.
Yeah.
So we realized we needed to diversify, but we didn't even know where to begin. All we knew is that we were working multiple jobs, trying to keep our head above water, and we didn't want it to look like that forever. So we had to start making some kind of a big change now. And we saw this as a real solution.
And I got to be honest with you guys, and I am being very honest. I didn't want to do network marketing.
Right.
I mean, that was the one I thought, well, we really need something, but I hope it's not that. And so when I found out that it was that, I mean, I had a little bit of a backup here. I mean, it was like, okay, God, I mean, we're open, but what do we do? Well, anyway, we went and heard about Lifevantage. Partway through the meeting, I realized that, man, the things we're hearing about, we heard about 6 elements that made this a world-class opportunity. And boy, we had been aware of some of those things that we needed to look at because we'd had some disappointments in the past. And when we took it seriously, we got started. I remember the fear that we had about, can we do this? Do we have time to do this? Because I'm telling you, to recover, we were both doing 2 jobs, trying our best to make it. And then we had to do this too. So what we want to do real quickly today is just share the 6 things that we kind of put a litmus test to. You know, is this opportunity really worth getting involved in? And we took a look at 6 different factors that in every business school in the world, in the MBA programs, they teach, if you're looking for opportunity, check out these 6 things and see how they stack up. Their company, trends, products, system, timing, and compensation. And I just want to just real quickly spin through those. Lori and I won't take long because you guys are all busy, but we were so thrilled to hear that Lifevantage, this opportunity, is a publicly traded opportunity. Mm-hmm. We like that because we've been in privately held companies before where people were doing underhanded things. We didn't know, but they were in trouble, getting ready to close, owing us a lot of money. Those things can go on when you're not checked to the degree that public companies are. But we're a part of a company that is rock solid. It's traded now on the NASDAQ stock exchange, so it's a global stock exchange company. Because of that, it's regulated by government agencies. We have to be squeaky clean as a company. Nobody can lie about anything or somebody's doing time, Enron time, right, Lori? So the company is Lifevantage. With the company, the way it got started was this huge discovery, this medical invention discovery, if you will, and the company tried to roll it out in the retail market and did so for several years, from 2005 to 2009. The product just sat on the shelf because it's brand new. It's never existed before. It does something nothing has ever done. It kind of looks like other stuff that people know about, but it's completely different. It's 1-to-1 to 1-to-1 million stronger in its effect on the problem, and yet nobody knows. So it sat on these shelves in GNC, Rite Aids, CVS pharmacies, and people just walked past it. The company was languishing, losing millions of dollars a year, and then finally they listened to a consultant that said, you're in the wrong space. If you want to take this product, which is a world-class product, to market all around the world and scale it, you've got to do it through network marketing. And for several months, the board of directors at this public company said no to that. But they finally said, you know what, let's give it a try. And, you know, in just a few months, the network marketing group that was put to the test exceeded sales by tenfold over what was going on in retail. So the company moved over in 2009 to this method so people could sit and listen to each other telling the stories and learn about this incredible technology. And now the company, when we joined, had just done an $11.5 million a year, tripled sales the first year out the gate in network marketing. Today, we just finished over a $200 million a year this year. I mean, the exponential growth is happening, and it's exciting, but it's a public company. We've got Darren Jensen is our CEO now. He came 2 years ago. He's brought with him a world-class team from Coca-Cola, Apple Computers, some of the top people in the world that know how to take companies like ours global. And boy, when you look at who's being hired, you kind of know where the company's going. They don't say much because it's insider trading stuff, but you can just kind of see the pieces coming together. So public company with top leadership, drawing in top people, top technology. And then the other thing we loved about it was sports branding. 3 years ago, our company took out a $30 million agreement with Real Salt Lake. And, you know, in soccer, it's the biggest sport in the world. If you're going to go global, you got to do that. Fastest growing sport in America. Front jersey sponsorship on all the soccer jerseys. So our brand is being seen on ESPN, sports networks globally, every single day around the world. As we get ready to go global, we just love these things about the company.
I love seeing it on Pepsi cans and Wonder Bread wrappers.
Yeah, just getting started.
Branding is fun to be a part of, isn't it?
It is so fun. So we checked off the first thing of the 6, and that was the company that we were becoming a part of. Lori, why don't you talk to us about the trends that drive what we're doing?
Well, you know, anytime you want to get involved in a real poppin' business, you're going to want to make sure that it appeals to the masses, not just within our borders. not just in the United States, but appeals to the masses around the world, and that it appeals to all age groups. We want the millennials. We want the baby boomers. You want it to be appealing to women who are top network marketers. With this kind of an industry, that's what you're looking for. But the convergence of health and wellness together is really where it's happening. Paul Zane Pilzer, who is one of the leading world forecasters and economists, is saying that's where the next big trend is the convergence of health and wellness. And we are right there with probably, without a doubt, I should say, the most captivating products in the whole health and wellness industry. And it's catching the attention of not only marketers, but scientists and doctors all over the world. We're on to something big. We're not talking about fax machines, guys. We're not talking about payphones. We're talking about the cutting edge, biggest technology in the medical industry ever. And when you start seeing some of the, just even little clips and quotes and things from Forbes, Forbes is saying that we're one of the biggest, sorry, did I hit you?
That's okay.
Sorry, my hands flail when I get excited.
Lori's Jewish and they just can't talk without the hands, you know.
But when you start seeing all of these little excerpts from all over, you're going, are you kidding me? And we are here to be able to share this with other people. And it's just so invigorating. So the trend is there. And the timing could not be better. You know, like Mark said, we're in real estate. Well, in real estate, everything is about location. The reason why we loved our home before was because of where it was located. And we were able to sell it really well because of where it was located.
At half of what we had paid for it.
Yeah,
but hey, that was what was going on at the time.
That was the economy at the time. But you guys, timing is everything when it comes to a company like this. Okay, not location, because everybody can do it from their home. But timing is where it's at. There's a lot of great companies out there. Many of them, the timing is just too late to really take advantage of it. You've probably heard about the S-curve, the business management S-curve that Peter Drucker developed. 3 stages, the pioneering stage, the momentum phase, and the stabilization period. Many of those companies are in stabilization period, but here's the key. Those people that get involved in a company before it hits momentum, which is about 150,000 distributors, stand to make the most money in a company that becomes a very large entity. 85% of the money generated in a stabilization period goes back to those people who were in the company before it hit momentum.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That's what I saw.
Wow.
That's what I saw. And I was like, oh my word, we've got an opportunity here, baby. We might dig ourselves out of that big dark pit.
We might. And we really might. The truth is, I think it's over half the story, Lori. I mean, the timing is really over half the story. And here's the thing, you guys, if it's like buying something, just wait. I mean, no big deal. You know, if you say, some people say, well, I'll wait till the next generation of TVs come out, then I'll go get the cheap one, right? Well, that's a TV for your own, side use. But if it's a business decision, you better make timing a big part of your decision making.
And like Mark said, we had been involved in many companies before. And we had seen the cornerstones and pitfalls of not just corporate companies, but also network marketing companies. We tried our hand at a few of them. We did well in several of them. But some of these elements were just not quite firing on all cylinders. And so to find something like this, where all the cylinders were firing, it's like, are you kidding me? Why are we waiting? And by the way, I just want to say, the person that introduced this to us, Dave Marquis, who is now a Pro 9 in the company, doing very well, moved his family to Costa Rica because that's where they wanted to live. Amazing. You can do this business from anywhere. That man had the foresight. He was going through a very dark time himself. He had the foresight to drive from Southern California all the way up to Northern California.
500-mile drive.
500 miles to take us to a presentation. He took us to dinner. He didn't have the money. We didn't know it. Took us to dinner, didn't even eat. Sold a gold watch just to have the money to get gasoline to come up there to take us to the meeting. We didn't know that till years later.
He told us last year. I mean, 5 years later.
I am so moved to think that God stirred his heart to think about us during our dark time, not even realizing what he was going through.
I mean, it just makes you think, man, who is out there that needs what we've got?
Yeah.
And how can we give more than take? You know, we got to become givers. But anyway, let's get back and finish up this little thing. So we checked off the company. We checked off the trends. We checked off the timing because we knew for us it was the right timing. And when we saw it was the right timing for the whole opportunity, we just about went crazy over that. I don't think we could sleep the first few nights. I still can't a lot of times. But anyway, all of that. But Drucker also says the products that you have really matter too, because obviously they've got to be trend driven. They can't be, you got to be out in the front of something that's really already people are looking for. But our products we have a complete inside outside approach that is second to the top in the world. It is the best way known on planet Earth right now in all of science to slow the aging process and to get to the optimum wellness that you can be at. I mean, when I found that out and all the MDs that are involved and all the scientists, it just blew my mind. And we've got those products. You guys, I won't go into deep detail, but we've got 4 or 5 product lines. The first one is our Protandem line. That is our big daddy story. Protandem Nerf 2 started it all. Go ahead and watch that ABC Primetime report from 12 years ago, and you'll begin to understand why scientists all over the world were so excited about it. But now we've got not only a defensive Protandem, but an offensive Protandem, one that causes your mitochondria to function better. If you're going to win a game, you better have a good defense team and a good offense team. And we've got both kinds of Protandem now. Get back to the person that invited you. They can explain it more, or just go study it yourself. And then also in the Protandem family, we've got Pet Tandem, a product that literally slows the aging of dogs. And I mean, when you watch how it works in dogs, dogs have a faster metabolism, so you can see their changes more quickly, but that'll give you a clue as to what, in maybe 7 times the amount of time, you might start seeing in humans that are on these products too. So it is pretty exciting. So the Protandem, Pet Tandem product line, affordable, amazing, and made for everyone. Everybody in the world needs to be on these products, and every dog that's loved should be on these products. You got what I'm saying. Anyway, we also have True Science. The whole skin beauty system comes out of the science. It's Protandem for the skin.
For men and women.
Men and women. I use it every single day. And I mean, this is patents on these products too. This is amazing. We have probably the only patented supplement that I've ever heard of, because the US government does not allow supplements to have patents across the board. But they've issued 6 patents to Protandem, Nerf 2, and we've got international patents as well. Patent in China, that's a little clue, by the way. You might want to pay attention to those clues. And then we've got the Protandem, the True Science system.
Don't forget about the National Institute of Aging.
We should mention that. Why don't you mention it?
Well, they just came out recently and said it's the only product in the world that reverses aging. That's insane.
It extends life is the way they put it, by 7% in their study that we've been hearing. A study was going on, but because
there's nothing else.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Nothing else says that.
That was just last summer at this time they released that information. I mean, that's just mind-blowing.
Powerful.
And we've got access to this, exclusive access to bring this message to the world.
We got 1 minute.
Oh, we do? Okay, so the products, the Protandem for the skin. We've got a great weight management system now that's just balances your own body's ability to handle its own problem. A very incredible thing. We've got also the Axio. Axio is a very affordable way to get your brain functioning properly again. All natural, Nerf 2 for the brain, activates, it gets rid of brain fog. An amazing array of products, with more probably coming in the future, but all of them exclusive. All of them just for us. And it's pretty exciting to check off the category creating, check off the product.
You're not going to find them in Costco, I promise. Okay, we're going to also cover a couple more things. The system. Yeah. I want to talk to you about the system. You guys, if you're going to do this business, do it right and take advantage of it. Ride the wave. You can't do that without buying into the system. And I don't mean like purchasing the system because the system comes with your distributorship.
Right.
But I will tell you this, when we got started, I wanted to do it my way. I wanted to I had my own plan of how to do this in addition to all the other stuff we were doing. I wasn't going to be on conference calls or webinars, and I wasn't going to go to meetings and all that kind of stuff.
She actually said, Mark, I'll do this, but don't ever expect me to show up at one of these meetings. I'll never go to one.
Wisdom. He's so full of wisdom. He goes, how about if you go with me just to one big conference? I go, okay, I'll do that. So I go to the conference, and person after person walking across the stage and hearing their testimonies, all of them saying that they did the system exactly the way they were told. They were at every meeting they were supposed to be at. We're doing this and that, whatever it was. And all of a sudden, I had this question come over me. What is more important, my way or my why? What is more important? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to just buy in and do whatever they're telling me to do, the way that they're telling me to do it. And then if I think that my way is better later on, I'll do it that way. Wow, was I ever right about being wrong? I am so glad that we took advantage of that moment and took advantage of the system that they have in place. You guys, unbelievable systems. The person that sponsored you can tell you all about those systems.
And it has in it, the meetings we're going to Denver in 2 weeks. I can hardly wait because 3 times a year, we all get together, thousands of us. And I'm telling you, the people that plug into the system, well, it's there for them. It's like, would you buy a McDonald's franchise and lock the doors during the day and never show up to learn how to run it? We've got a system like that. So make sure, and then we check that off. And then finally, compensation. And I just don't have time to go into compensation right now. That is something that the person that invited you can go more into detail to. But I can tell you this, when we started, we needed to make money fast. And we needed to make long-term residual money to get ourselves out of hock. And our first month, just applying ourselves, we brought in 6 distributors and we brought in several preferred customers our first month and made almost $2,000. And from that point on, I was a believer. I said, this can work for us. We very quickly got me out of my mortgage business. And then next was a couple of years later, Lori was able to fire her boss at the title company. She went in one day and did that and said, I can't work for you anymore. I've got, that little side business I'm doing. It's producing so much income now that this is getting in the way of our dreams. And she went in and came home. And that day, I remember it wasn't quite time. We weren't quite still making the money we needed to at Pro 6 to have her make that decision. But we felt this freedom and this ability to make that decision. And then from that point on, it's been no looking back. But the compensation is amazing. There's a way to make weekly pay to do the right activities, monthly residual income, a global sharing of all revenue, amazing parts, and I love the matching bonus. You got to ask about the matching bonus because when we help our team, we get matching checks off of what they earn. And so all of these parts of this pay plan, and then the Jeeps that you can earn, the trips you can earn, the culture that you can be a part of. So we checked all these things off, you guys. We checked off the company. We checked off the trends. We checked off the timing, the system, the products, and the compensation. And we got in and within about 3 years made it to elite rank. It's been such a blessing. It's still a blessing. We love helping other people. And Tanya, we love just being invited to just share our story with all of you. So
I want to just end with this, you guys. We are getting ready to go on the trip of a lifetime. That could not have happened without Lifevantage. We are so blessed. Our church blessed Mark and I with a 3-month sabbatical. And because of Lifevantage, and because I'm not trapped in a corporate world anymore, I can do Lifevantage from anywhere. And we are packing our bags, and we are going to Europe for 3 months to 30 different countries together. We're on an ancestry tour where we're going to go and see where all of our ancestors are from. Both of us have discovered kings and castles and all kinds of fun things in our ancestry.
And criminals.
Lots of those. Lots of those.
And sometimes they were both, king and criminal.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just going to go discover for 3 months together. That couldn't happen without this. We never dreamed. We didn't even get into it for that. but we never dreamed that really some of these dreams were that possible.
You know, I've been thinking so much, Lori, if you were still trapped in that 60-hour-a-week title company job, you were making good money, but had no time.
Yeah.
And time to us, the control of getting your time back so you can do what you're called to do and do these kinds of things is what the dream's all about for us. So listen, Tanya, thank you so much. We'll just turn it back over to you. You're a rock star to us, your whole team and Upline.
We loved your presentation yesterday, and we're excited about you coming to Sacramento to speak for us. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I took so many notes, so blessed by you and your story. And I have to think back to that pastor that shared your story to John and what that moment of John holding your shoulders did for you. A lot of us don't want to share our story because we think that we're ashamed of it. Mm-hmm. And I hope you learned today that your story is something you need to share because someone out there needs to hear it and be inspired and know that their life can be all they want it to be, that they too can be an eagle. And I love that part of your story. And I'm so happy you said yes, that you found this to be your vehicle. I'm so happy to know you. What a blessing for all of us here today. So, and I also loved the offensive and defensive pro tandem. That was so good. What is more important, my why or my way? That was really, really important. You guys did an amazing job. So if you're a guest on here today, you've been truly blessed. I hope that you feel that. The person that invited you, they're going to call you back. They're going to check in with you. And please do yourself a favor and pick up the phone, reply to the text, and just let them know what direction you want to take. And if you need more information, they will direct you accordingly. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you in Denver. I'm so glad I get to see you there on that amazing trip. Of course you're from Kings. So amazing. Thank you guys so much. Everyone have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.
Thanks.